Naraka Bladepoint just had their Season 12 update, and it's got some really big changes that we need to talk about. First up is the massive rework to the talent glyph system. With the new layout, you have a total of 18 points to spend in a more traditional talent tree style. You can spend the points however you'd like, and each quadrant has a different main focus. If this is a little overwhelming, I recommend using auto allocate because it actually gives you a pretty good build. Maximum stamina has been increased across the board, totaling the previous maximum stamina provided by green talent glyphs, which most people used to use. They've also reduced the stamina cost for dodging and quick dash and increased stamina recovery speed. This balances out with the new glyph plan's stamina-related glyph points to be equivalent to using a full stamina build on the old system. There are some important character balance changes here as well, starting with Akos. His second skill got a slightly slower startup, while his ultimate received a decent damage buff on the Pounce Strike at second and third stage, and a damage buff on his first ultimate's Tiger Lunges with increased healing on the attacks. Although his Pounce Strikes are now a bit slower, Akos' second ultimate has a bigger vertical range now, and Akos can grab a Shaol during her ultimate or a Zai during her skill. Viper gets a damage reduction buff while casting her ultimates from 50 to 70%, which should help her tremendously in mitigating damage during her ultimate. Harumi got buffed as well, receiving increased damage reduction during the cast of all her ultimate variants from 50 to 70% and reducing recovery frames that kept her locked in the animation. Her third ultimate got its startup frames changed and can now be cancelled early by dodging. Tarka's Fireball used to go on cooldown the moment he tried to use it, even if the Fireball cast got interrupted, leading to a situation where Tarka would get negative value for misplaying it. That has been adjusted, so now Fireball won't go on cooldown until it's actually been fully cast. The damage reduction when casting all ultimates has been increased from 50 to 70%, and Tarka's ultimate will no longer be cancelled by Valda's ultimate. I don't know why this is happening. At this point, I'm convinced the devs want to make Valda unplayable so they don't have to just delete her from the game. She's probably the worst character on the roster right now, and I completely stopped playing her a few seasons ago. The only reason to play Valda in team modes is for the infamous low-skill Wombo comp, which will make everybody hate you, and there's really no reason to pick Valda in solos over any of the high-performing heroes right now such as Faria, Zabing, Akos, Justina, or Shayo. Zai got slightly changed. Her gold focus doesn't last as long upon ultimate activation, and they slightly changed how the attacks respond to the player's inputs. Lastly, Shayo got a small nerf by reducing the gold focus time when activating her ultimate, and the cooldown of her second skill was increased from 16 seconds, which is extremely short, to 19 seconds, which is still pretty short. When Shayo misses her second skill, the cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds, down from the previous 8-second cooldown reduction. In my opinion, the cooldown shouldn't be reduced if she misses. The cooldown is already very short at 19 seconds. Why should Shayo be rewarded for missing her move? This just doesn't make sense and is not in line with the capabilities of the rest of the cast. Okay, this next change may or may not affect you too much, but the stagger time caused by airborne attacks has been adjusted to more closely match the network delay. What does this really mean? Essentially, players with too high of ping will have a different experience than before, in an attempt to stabilize the experience for players with lower ping, such as myself. There should be less instances of rubber banding, lag combos, and parry scamming, but we will have to give the game some time to see how these changes really play out. This change may be jarring for some, but try to adapt to the new way things are being handled, and keep in mind that this change should improve the overall state of the game for many players, especially at in-person events where everyone's ping will be low. Armor also got a buff. Now all armor values are increased by 20%, so gray gives 600 instead of 500, blue gives 900 instead of 750, and so on, up to red's armor value of 1800. The overall survivability of everyone just increased, as well as the importance of finding armor before your first fight in the game. This should also increase the general time to kill, so the pacing of the game overall will likely change slightly, especially since armor powder is also getting a 20% healing buff, now healing for 300 on small armor powder and 600 for the big blue heals. Group heal and advanced heal had their heal amounts adjusted accordingly, and now the armor value of each bar segment displayed is 300 instead of the old 250. There's a new casual game mode called Hot Potato Counter, and I'll quickly explain how it works. The game has multiple rounds, each beginning with a hot potato that spawns in the center. The hot potato starts going after a random player, and it gains speed with every hit. If the hot potato hits you, it will remove a health point. In solo mode, there are 9 players with only 1 HP per round, but in trios, each of the 6 players will have 2 HP. Win the round by reducing all enemies' HP to 0, or by scoring the highest before the round timer ends by having hit the most hot potatoes. A red hot potato is targeting you and will show a symbol above your head. A white hot potato is going for someone else, but can still damage you if you're caught in its path. Blue hot potatoes are friendly and will not hurt you. Different attacks will affect different hot potatoes differently. Horizontal attacks will send the hot potato at an enemy, but vertical attacks will pass the hot potato to a teammate in trios. Focus attacks will speed up the hot potato, and a parry can catch it, allowing you to release it wherever you aim. You can also use your character's skill or a soul jade you can find from the exquisite vessel spawn, which can give armor that provides 1 HP or a consumable rampage soul jade. Next we have the big changes to Immortal War. Now you will only be able to get up to blue rarity weapons and armors from blue stashes. You can still buy purple weapons from rift dealers, but now you're also able to buy purple armor, and even gold soul jades as the match progresses. The Darktide coins gained from getting kills will increase as the match goes on, so eliminating other players is key to any team's success, especially now with all the new stuff that can be bought. Cave keys are also added as purchasable items from a rift dealer. When you buy a key, it marks the location of the closest cave to you for everyone in the match. This wouldn't be that big of a deal, except that they've added an extra locked Morris's Blessing to caves in Immortal War, so cave battling will be more important than ever before. Spirit wells are replacing the regular Morris Blessing spawns after Realm of Yang spawns, and will now have a protective dome around them, preventing outside interference from ranged weapons while allowing those inside to still shoot out. Successfully capturing a spirit well gives rewards like soul jades and purple equipment. Oh, and soul blooms have a 2-minute timer in all modes, including ranked mode, so leaving soul blooms for after Realm of Yang in case you lose will no longer be an option. This is to encourage more fighting in the mid to late game, where players may otherwise want to take it slow. Moving on from Immortal War, we have one of the best changes so far. The casual modes used to be on a weekly rotation before they removed Shadow Surge for the last few months, but now they will rotate every 2 hours, letting there always be a fun mode available for players to relax on. And the best game mode in the entire game has returned, Shadow Surge. This time featuring a Holoroth variant alongside the normal Morris Isle Shadow Surge, and the availability will alternate between Shadow Surge and Capture the Spirit Well. I strongly encourage everyone to check out Shadow Surge if you've never played it before. This mode starts with a small spawn area for 8 trios teams. The Shadow deals higher damage than normal, immediately weakens healing, and doesn't stop moving once it starts closing. The full length of an average match is around 5 minutes. You'll spawn in with gray armor and weapons already on your character, and loot that you find on the ground will have increased rarity odds. Each player gets 2 rebirths with blue armor and weapons. There are golden egg stashes that often drop purple and gold items that can be found randomly, and there's a timed Morris Blessing egg spawn during the match. Shadow Surge also has exclusive soul jades that you can't find in other game modes. If you're looking for quick and efficient trios combat practice, Shadow Surge is a good place to find it. Showdown has added a free training mode, so now you can test your different Showdown Soul Jade builds in a static environment with any available hero. The global max drop level has been increased from 730 to 750, and max enhancement level from 750 to 770. The new Battle Pass has incredible cosmetics, as always, with a nice Zai skin and hairstyle, and a Tarka skin at level 1. Other notable cosmetics in the pass include a bow skin and revive effect, a greatsword skin, a Tarka hairstyle, a dual blade skin, and the final tier of the pass gives you a new Matari outfit and hairstyle. There are also many treasure choice gifts, emotes, and the soon-to-be-released Tenacity treasures along the way. The Swarm will temporarily be changed into a water gun and can be found from regular stashes in most modes, just not Immortal War. This will last the duration of the Festival of Water event, where players can earn Serene drops by completing daily event quests that can be redeemed for the event rewards. The Swarm's damage is actually being slightly reduced as well, and I'm not sure if that change will stay once this event ends, but we'll just have to see. Some items have been made available for purchase with Tae, including some weapon skins, accessories, a silk box that can be bought 3 times, and a treasure choice gift that can be bought 5 times. Also, many of you may be playing on the Tinder color filter like I have been, since it makes the blue focus effect more visible. But they have finally addressed this by changing the brightness of focus visual effects for each filter type. So now you don't have any advantage by playing on Tinder and should just choose the color filter that you like the most. Other changes coming later include the introduction of a brand new map, changes to Holoroth and Yueishan's mech skin, but for now this is all we know, and I'll surely keep you all updated with the new developments from Naraka Bladepoint. Hope you enjoyed this video, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.